Before I start this video today, I just want to let you know that I entered my short film, The Wooden Man, into the My Road Reel competition, so I have a link in the description, and if you could spend a minute to just go and vote for me, I would really appreciate it. If I win, I get tens of thousands of dollars worth of film equipment that I could use towards this channel, so I'd really appreciate it if every single person clicked on the link in the description or comments down below and go vote for me. Over the past few years, I've often used Casey Neistat as a positive example of how to run an entertaining and popular YouTube channel, and this has confused some. I guess a lot of my subscribers see Casey's videos as normie content and group it together with other vlogs, which I feel is unfair. Is his content clean cut and easily consumable for the mainstream? Of course, but even if you're not a fan of him directly, it's hard to deny his impact on this website and his incredible work ethic. Nowadays, I see a lot of people critical of his current business venture, with them pointing out that he peaked in 2016 according to analytics. So what exactly happened? Well, today I want to explain how Casey revolutionized the genre and became one of the most respected people on all of YouTube. Casey started out his adult life on what many would consider not the best path. After getting his high school girlfriend pregnant, he dropped out of school altogether, getting a low-paying job to provide the best he could for his family while living in a trailer. This is one of the main reasons I have so much respect for the guy. 99% of the time, a person in this situation won't thrive. But he was hardworking and decided to move to New York City for opportunities, only seeing his son on weekends. This is when he really started to get into filmmaking, starting with a short in 2003 about iPod battery problems. It was one of the few videos to go viral before YouTube started. That is what many people consider his first big break. From there, he made more content, with one of his projects being picked up by HBO, telling the story and life of Casey and his brother. Around the same time, he started up the YouTube channel that we all know of today, and it became very successful, with mainly one-off content at first. Now we have to jump forward 5 years to March 26, 2015, when the daily vlog started.
I want to make more movies, but there's so much going on in my life, it makes it tough. So I've decided, starting today, my 34th birthday, I'm going to make a movie every day. For a while anyways, or until I get bored.
You need to understand that pre-Casey vlogging channels were normally very lazy. They were subjected to a popular YouTuber's second channel, and no thought was put into the narrative, no effort was made to capture cool shots, and they were quickly slapped together with the bare minimum effort put into them. Now you have Casey Neistat, who comes in and treats his daily vlogs not as a side dish, but as the main course. He had drone shots, time lapses, interesting camera work, and most importantly, interesting stories and adventures. This was a big deal. I'm sure other people at the same time were making these changes too, but Casey was the proof of concept that you can make quality daily vlogs. Since then, there have been thousands of people that have tried to duplicate his style, and very few have reached his popularity levels. At his height, he was gaining over 100 million views a month. And on top of this, he was running an internet startup called Beam. The point of the Beam app, or at least how I remember it being pitched to me, is that it was like Snapchat, but you needed to hold the phone against a wall or up to your body for it to shoot video. The idea was this app forces you to experience your life, instead of looking at the screen, since it was covered by your chest. It of course failed because I honestly never thought it was that good of an idea, but eventually CNN came in and bought the company so they'd have access to Casey, who would build them a new show focused on younger people. The same month as this buyout, Casey made the interesting move to end the daily vlog, even though it was more popular than ever before.
You know, when I think back to why I started this vlog, I spent so much of that time sitting here talking to you about this premise, about this idea that I need to challenge myself creatively. And I'd gotten lazy on this platform and I hadn't been posting. And by issuing a mandate to post every single day, I would challenge myself creatively in a way I'd never done before. And that's exactly what happened. And I don't know, probably like 6 months ago, something like that, it started to get easy. I found a system for approaching this daily video that was no longer a challenge. And this vlog, I feel like, turned into the one thing that I didn't want it to be when I started, which is just me making a little video about what my day was every single day.
Even though people were sad about it ending, they still had hope for this new news reporting project over at Beam through CNN, until he left his very own company 6 months later.
This would be a much easier video to make if I could say that CNN fired me or that I quit from CNN. Neither of those things are the truth. The reality of the situation is I've been struggling there for a while, they've been struggling with me for a while, and collectively we just decided this was the smartest way to move forward.
At this point, Casey could have taken his CNN money and disappeared, but that's not how he rolls. This is when he created 368, a brand new company with its own studio and employees. But as far as most people can tell, it's still not much more than just traditional vlogs with a new space to hang out in, and the possibility of maybe some live streams and podcasts in the future. I can't help but compare 368 to Philip DeFranco's business. When Phil started up his Patreon talking about how he was going to expand with a big office and a sizable staff, many backed him thinking that he was going to expand and make his own news network without the bias of the left or right. Well, it's been over a year now, and the changes have been minimal. They have an app now where you can upload selfie videos, plus some new smaller shows on a secondary account, but to put it lightly, many have been underwhelmed. Just like in that case, Casey is spending a lot of money on this new business without much in terms of new revenue streams to make up for the added cost. He has addressed these concerns, to be fair.
We have businesses built into it that are already generating revenue. We have the 368 gaming, which is happening. And then the biggest speed bump of it all is the space. 368 at its core, as I pitched it, all revolves around the nucleus, which is this physical space in downtown Manhattan. The space still isn't done. And we're doing everything. We're throwing money at it. We've spent maybe even over $100,000 working on that space. We're investing heavily in that space. It's just not there yet. We're almost there. Look. So this space out here is gonna be the retail space. This room is open to the public. This is the creator space back here.
Love that.
And this whole space is meant to be modular. Yeah. We're building a half pipe here. When my friends come from out of town, they're like, how do I get around New York City? Yeah. And now I can just be like, here.
You have the Super 73.
Borrow my Super 73, because we got 10 of them. You have one of these, right?
Yeah.
Is somebody ready to be?
I really wonder how this hangout for creators is going to work. What are going to be the thresholds for being allowed into this VIP section? Because with how popular this is, I can definitely see a lot of people with a few hundred subs trying to go back there and pester bigger YouTubers into collaborating with them so they could have their big break. The only way I could see this working is if it was invite only maybe, but that leads to new problems. Anyway, I don't quite see the monetary motive in doing this. The fact is, daily vlogs are very likely going to continue being the most profitable venture for Casey. He talks about his podcasts and gaming live streams in his group space, but these new shows need to be unrealistically popular to justify the cost of keeping open a new expensive Manhattan studio. At the end of the day, we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out. While I personally don't quite understand his business model yet, I do have faith that he knows what he's talking about. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for making it to the end of this video today. It's really appreciated. As for the question of the day, somebody wants to know what my personal favorite Netflix original show is. And that would probably be The Crown. I know a lot of people aren't really interested in period pieces and dramas, especially about the royal family. It kind of seems like a very proper subject and not very interesting. But what really sets the show apart is how much work was put into it. It's very clear that each season they go through a decade of the Queen's life. The first season starts out in the 50s, and they get as much historical accuracy as possible, and then for any parts of the show where they don't really know what happened, they try to fill in the gaps as best they can to make a very solid story. I also like the way that they find little tidbits of history that were just popular for a month or two in the news cycle of Britain, and then they bring new life into them and make them engaging engaging for a modern audience, so you learn new things about history that honestly I didn't even know happened. I also think it's the most expensive show ever made, or if not that, it's close to it, which is very surprising because it's just a show where a lot of the time it's just people talking in rooms to one another. But the historical accuracy and how they set up the rooms and the costumes and the set designs and everything is just so great that I could kind of understand why it costs so much money. So even if you're not usually interested in shows like that, I definitely recommend you at least try it out and give it a chance for at least an episode or two, because I honestly think it's one of the best shows on television right now. So I'll end the video here, and until next time, thanks for watching.